Hello friends, welcome once again to UDLCC support channel. In this video, we'll try to guide database developers and DBA for their roles, responsibilities, and day-to-day activities. This video will not only be helpful for DBAs and developers, but also for mid-level and large-level organizations to understand their roles and responsibilities related to database developers and database administrators. Although small and some mid-sized organizations mix up the roles of database developers and administrators because of their budget constraint and lack of profile understanding, but their roles and responsibilities are quite different in terms of their activities. In this video, we'll try to focus on those areas. Our goal is to spread awareness to employees and employers so that they can be benefited by saving time, value resources, increase performance, customer value, and in some monetary benefit also. So let's discuss about what are the roles and responsibilities and day-to-day activities of database administrators and developers. Broadly, there are two profiles in database, but you can also have a database architect, database I can say designer. So broadly, there are two categories I'm mentioning here: database administrator and database developer. So all the activities are there in, we'll discuss here in terms of database administrator and database developers. So what are the common roles and responsibilities of database administrators and database developers? Although they have different roles and responsibilities, but they have some common roles also. So which can be done, these activities can be done with the help of, developers and administrators. So both have their involvement in these activities. What are those? Let's discuss about that. So these are some common roles, I can say. Query performance. So query performance is a common role because query is designed by developers and implemented by database administrator. So when you design a query, uh, database developer has to test it from few angles, like what are the performance on the servers. So if you write any query, you test it with your database administrator so that you can also confirm that the performance of your query is good at when it goes to your production. Okay. The second one is database design. Like suppose I'm giving you one example. Like suppose you are creating one table and you are defining some data types, like I can say integer data type. Okay. And for is, some developers don't mm, uh, keep in their mind that what should be the data type and what should be the range of that. But these, hampers your database performance. Like suppose if you are taking for the is column, you are taking integer, and it takes 8 bytes. And if you take, I can say tiny int or a small int, it takes 1 or 2 byte. So when your query goes to production server, it takes it performs on those number of bytes, and it takes those number of bytes in your disk and memory. So it matters a lot for the performance. So database design, you developers can design, but with the help of DBA, they will be able to understand what is the performance perspectives of that database design. So database design is also, I can say, a common roles and responsibilities of both DBA and developers. Stored procedure, triggers, cursors, function design and implementation. So these all are written by database developers, but just to check the performance of your developed stored procedure, triggers, cursors, you will have to coordinate with your database administrator so that the performance, when it goes to your production, the performance will be good. So this is also common roles and responsibilities. Scheduling jobs is also a common responsibility, because in jobs there can be multiple queries and stored procedures. So with the help of your database administrator, you can understand the performance angle of that queries and stored procedures. So this is, yes, this is the common responsibilities of both DBA and I can say developers to schedule a job. Okay, but not all jobs are related to I can say database developers. The developers can focus on only the jobs which have some queries and stored procedure, triggers, these kind of database objects. Now I am going to discuss now the DBA roles and responsibilities. It is very critical role. Coming to the first, what is the roles of database administrator? The first one is coordinating with developers and system admin and other stakeholders. Yes, as we discussed in our first topic, common roles and responsibilities. It is related to database developers and administrator. So coordinating with developers is also roles and responsibilities of DBA, so that your query which is going on production, with the help of database administrator, and they can coordinate with database developer for that, and system admin also, because lots of other parameters are involved in that, like you can say mm, mm, disk management, you can say memory management, and you can say how many memories are required, how much memories are required, how much disk spaces are required in future, and how, what will be the bandwidth. So in these for these parameters, you will have to directly or indirectly, you will have to involve with your system admin. So coordinating with developers and system admin is one of the job of I can say first job of database developers, and not only for admin and developers, and if any other stakeholders, like if you have a database architect, you have a database designer, then you have also the responsibility to uh, take them in confidence. So the second one is database design. Yes, database design can be done by database architect or developers, but you should be a part of that design, and you should coordinate with architect, or you should coordinate with your developers for database design. Okay, so this is the third one is your installation of database software. Yes, so whatever software is going to install on your production or development or testing servers, it is whole and sole database administrator responsibility to install the database software. Capacity planning with system admin. Okay, yes, capacity planning is one of the great role and job for the database administrator. So what is the what will be the future disk utilization, what is the current utilization, you will have to talk with your system admin, and they will be able to allot some disk and memory thing in in advance for you, so that whenever you demand any new capacity or new, I can say, disk and disk spaces or memory, they will be able to allot you. in future. So yes, capacity planning is one of the roles and responsibilities of DBA. Release management, and I can say version management. So release management in two terms. If your application is going to release, you will have to coordinate with your team also. And if your some releases are whole and soul, like releases are related to only database, then you will have to coordinate with your team. So release management is one of the role of database administrator. Version management also, or upgrade, I can say. If any new version or new version is coming to market related to your database, you will have to, your responsibility is to read those I can say upgrade, release, I can say release document first, and aware your team, your developers, your stakeholders, that these are the new features are coming in this new version of database, which we were actually waiting for that. Now it is coming, so we can plan to upgrade it. So reading those release document and planning for upgrade is one of the roles of DB, I can say. Yes, database security with other server security stakeholders. See, this is very critical responsibility. So in your organization, there may be several other security stakeholders, like system admin also, like security chief also. So database is one of the part of security management. So in security management, so you will have to coordinate with your system admin, your network admin, and your security stakeholders to understand what are the protocols in their in their security zones. So you'll have to understand those security. It's not only that you create any user, you with any port, or you have allowed only few IPs to your user. Like say, I can, just a second, I can show you practically also. Mm, you create some user, like in MySQL database, select user, host, I can say port from, like say these are some hosts, some users, some other fields also. It's not only like you use some users, you are using some other IP or some other port, like suppose, so variables like port. So MySQL using 3306 port. So lots of other things in security. Okay. which you will have to understand with your system admin, your network admin, and other stakeholders. So you will have to coordinate with them, and you will have to take them in confidence, so both can work as a team for security. Okay. The another one, the eighth point is your database backup, restore, recovery. Yes, this is a whole and sole responsibility of database administrator to create a backup policy when it is required to restore on other server, or if it is required on the same server, like someone drops some table or some stored procedures. So how you can recover that, how you can restore that. So these are whole and sole responsibilities of database administrator. So you will have to plan accordingly what will be the database size, where you will keep the database, in the same production server, or you will keep somewhere else which is protected by other users. So you will have to make a plan for database backup, restored, and recovery policy. And you'll have to coordinate with your client. You will have to coordinate with your other stakeholders in your management. So this is very important role for database administrator. The ninth point is your database performance, including these are some, I can say, I have mentioned here. There are some performance related things that you can maintain. So this is a responsibility of database administrator to uh, see the performance things in designing, in writing queries with the help of our database architect or database developers, controlling the database variable. There are lots of variables. If you see, not only in, I'm talking in terms of MySQL database right now, but there are all the database have their own system variables and system status. So variables, see how many variables are there. I can say 500-600 variables. So each variables have their own meaning. Okay. Like this has 524 variables. Each variables is controlling something. And like suppose if you, based on their variables, their status are there. So status. So what are the status of those variables? You will have to control on all these status and the variables. Being a good database administrator, you will have to control all these parameters. Okay, so yes, this is you will have to control the database variables. You will have to enhance your database performance with the help of variables. You can see the status of those variables. Yes, memory management is also database administrator's role in terms of whatever memory is consumed by your database software. Yes, there are lots of variables you can see, like so variable like buffer, I can say, you can say sort buffer size, key buffer size, InnoDB log buff, I can say InnoDB sort buffer size. Okay. Uh, every variables have their own meaning. SQL buffer result. Okay. Yes, InnoDB, if you are maintaining InnoDB engine, InnoDB buffer pool size. So the more memory you define in buffer area, the more your database will act like a memory database. Okay. So this you will have to maintain from your end. Okay. So the system memory is related to some system admin, but how this is, coordinating with your database, it is whole and sole database administrator responsibility, is that how much memory is consumed by your database software. Okay, so you will have to manage that memory also. Connection and thread pooling, what is the current connection, like so variables like connection, I can say. So what is the max connection? It is default connection, or you required some more connections to handle those concurrent concurrent thread or connections. So if your management says that, hey, someone we required some, concurrent connections are high now, so you will have to plan accordingly. So what you can do, you can maximize your concurrent connection with the help of max connections, and you can monitor it, like suppose, so status like connection. What is the current connection, max used connection? What are those parameters? You will have to understand. So this is whole and sole responsibility of a DBA to see the connection and thread management. It's your responsibility. Okay, the performance. If your concurrent connection is high, how your database is performing, how your system is performing, you will have to uh, take all those parameters and variables and status parameters, and give the report to your management, and you will have to boost the performance based on those parameters. So yes, this is a, responsibility of database administrator. Log management, I can say. So there are lots of logs in database. Uh, uh, I can say error logs, I can say binary logs, you all knows. I can say uh, relay logs related to your replication, master logs, I can say. The lots of logs are there, DDL logs are there. So this is, you'll have to manage that log. So if that error log is heavy, going to heavy, you will have to replan. You have to, uh, mm, you'll have to reduce the size of that error log automatically from your scheduled task. So you'll have to specify in your jobs that if your log is going to big size, then you will have how you can reduce the size of that log. Okay, so you will have to plan. I mean to say, log management is one of the responsibility related to database performance also. So you will have to manage that. Lots of others responsibilities related to database performance are there. Okay, query performance, how you can collect that slow performance, like slow, so variables like slow, I can say. So you can on the slow query log collect all those slow queries based on the slow launch time. Okay, and give the report to your developers, your architect, and other stakeholders that, hey, these are some queries that are taking time. We will have to optimize this query so that it when it goes to production server, it cannot hamper their database performance. So these are some parameters, these are some performance related issues that you will have to handle. Okay, scheduling jobs related to reporting, backup, server. So everything should be it should not be manual task. Like if you are doing backup, so it should be scheduled one with the help of notification. Okay, with the help of your scheduled jobs like cron jobs. If you're maintaining on Linux server, cron jobs you can maintain for backups, any kind of failures. You read your error logs, and every 1 minute you can say write your error log. And if any errors are coming, then send a notification to your concerned team, and uh, you will be benefited by your team, that yes, we were notified at that time when uh, these error were coming. So disk utilization, I can say. So whatever disk is being utilized, you can send report to your system admin that this database is, taking this much disk utilization. They can also, plan for future that yes, current utilization is this, and in future they may require some more disk spaces. So these kind of thing you can plan in your jobs with a certain notification to your team. Okay, now, so 11th items, I can say monitoring services. Okay, so this is monitoring services are day-to-day activities, I can say. So when you come to your office, everything it is notified by your email. So plan accordingly. Like suppose backups are there, backup is success or not, it is failure, it is success, what are the current if it is if your current uh, mm, concurrent connection is, like suppose you have defined 500, if it is reaching or not, if it is reached, then you should be notified by your email. And these kind of planning you will have to do in advance. Okay, and monitoring services like connections, how much connections have been made in your database, what is the current disk utilization. So every time we'll have to monitor it. Memory utilization, what is the current memory size. Okay, if anything occurs when you're setting with your in front of your database, okay, server. So if someone asks you that hey, the server is not performing well, so how you can see that, you can monitor connections, how many connections are there, how what is the disk utilization, like support df-h, I can say what is the current disk utilization, what is the memory utilization, I can say, uh, like I can say if it is memory are chalked or not, good memory or not. Okay, what is the error log says, like suppose tail hyphen f where log mysql d dot log. With the help of this command, you can see dynamically, you can see if any errors are coming frequently or not. So these are some monitoring services you will have to involve in. You have to see the data, other logs also, like bandy logs are going to is right, whatever you are writing to your database, it is going to write on your binary log or not, your replication is running or not. So these are some monitoring services. Okay, you'll have to maintain your database availability, I can say high availability. If your concurrent connections are high, there can be some read connections only, there can be some write connections only. If there are read connections, then how you can plan your all your read connections shifting to replications slave servers, so that your database connections are low and you will get a good performance from your database. Like high availability planning is also one of your roles and responsibilities. There are lots of other roles, whatever find in your from your database team or from your management, you should explore on that. Okay, so I can say high availability. Lots of other responsibilities are we are mentioning here, like database developers. What is the database developers roles and responsibilities? Coordinating with DBA, so whatever queries they are designing, with the help of database administrator, they can design a good query, so that if it goes to production server, it cannot hamper their performance. Okay, so developing database objects like SP trigger cursors functions, these are some of the responsibilities which is whole and soul related to database developers. Yes, assisting DBA, so whatever jobs are being scheduled for from a query perspective, the developers will assist you, like, hey, I'm going to uh, plan this query to schedule on daily jobs. So you will have to assist database developers. So there are lots of roles and responsibilities related to database DBAs and database developers, and there are some common roles are there also. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I am sure that it will be helpful for your future goal. If you have any queries, you can write it to us. Uh, uh, you can come to our website and check all the stuff. You can WhatsApp me on this number. You can enjoy all the videos on our YouTube channel. You can come to our LinkedIn page, and you can watch our Facebook also. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and helpful for this. Thank you so much for enjoying this video. Bye bye.